CLF-C02 AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam practice questions with explanations are available in the video for you to study. A company wants to use AWS. The company has stringent requirements about low-latency access to on-premises systems and data residency. Which AWS service should the company use to design a solution that meets these requirements? A. AWS Wavelength, B. AWS Transit Gateway, C. AWS Ground Station, D. AWS Outposts. The answer is D. AWS Outposts extend AWS infrastructure and services to on-premises locations, providing low-latency access to AWS resources and ensuring data residency. This service is suitable for hybrid environments that require the same AWS services and infrastructure to be available locally. Wavelength, Transit Gateway, and Ground Station do not specifically address low-latency access to on-premises resources or data residency. Which task can an IAM user perform without AWS account root user credentials? A. Change to a different AWS support plan. B. Close an AWS account. C. View the AWS billing console. D. Activate access to the AWS billing console. The answer is C. IAM users and billing permissions. IAM users with appropriate permissions can access and view the AWS billing console. The root user is required only for certain account-level tasks, such as changing support plans or closing accounts. Why other options are incorrect? A change to a different AWS support plan requires root user credentials. B. Close an AWS account requires root user credentials. D. Activate access to the AWS billing console requires root user credentials. Which AWS service can a company use to directly query and analyze AWS cost and usage reports? A. Amazon Open Search Service, B. Amazon Athena, C. Amazon Aurora, D. AWS Glue. The answer is B. Amazon Athena Overview. Amazon Athena is a serverless query service that allows users to analyze data in S3 using standard SQL. It is commonly used to query AWS cost and usage reports stored in S3. How it works for cost reports. Cost and usage reports are delivered in a structured format to an S3 bucket. Athena can query these reports without requiring additional ETL processes. Why other options are incorrect? A. Amazon Open Search Service, designed for search and log analytics, not querying structured data. C. Amazon Aurora, a relational database service, unsuitable for querying S3 data directly. D. AWS Glue, used for ETL tasks but not directly for querying. Which option is a shared responsibility between AWS and its customers under the AWS Shared Responsibility Model? A. Configuration of Amazon EC2 instance operating systems. B. Application file system server-side encryption. C. Patch management. D. Security of the physical infrastructure. The answer is C. AWS Shared Responsibility Model Overview. AWS manages security of the cloud, including physical infrastructure and foundational services. Customers are responsible for security in the cloud, which includes operating system configuration, data encryption, and application patch management. Why patch management is shared? AWS is responsible for patching the underlying infrastructure. Customers are responsible for patching the operating system and applications they install on their resources, e.g., EC2 instances. Why other options are incorrect? A configuration of Amazon EC2 instance operating systems, fully the customer's responsibility. B. Application file system server-side encryption. Customers configure and manage encryption. D. Security of the physical infrastructure, fully AWS's responsibility. A company wants to develop applications that run on AWS. The company's developers need a set of libraries and development tools that are available in multiple programming languages. Which AWS solution provides these libraries and tools? A. AWS Code Pipeline. B. AWS SDKs. C. Amazon CloudWatch. D. AWS Code Deploy. The answer is B. AWS SDKs Overview. AWS Software Development Kits, SDKs, provide libraries and tools for developers to interact with AWS services programmatically. SDKs are available for multiple programming languages, including Python, Java, JavaScript, and .NET. How AWS SDKs meet the requirement. Enable developers to integrate AWS services into their applications easily. Include API clients, authentication helpers, and other utilities specific to AWS services. Why other options are incorrect? AWS Code Pipeline automates CD pipelines but does not provide libraries for development. C. Amazon CloudWatch focuses on monitoring and logging, not a development toolset. D. AWS Code Deploy automates application deployment but does not include development libraries. A company is preparing for an audit and wants documentation that AWS complies with the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI-DSS. Where can the company find this documentation? A. AWS Artifact. B. AWS Organizations. C. AWS Trusted Advisor. D. AWS Support Center. The answer is A. AWS Artifact Overview. AWS Artifact is a service that provides on-demand access to AWS compliance documentation and agreements. It includes reports such as PCI-DSS, Society, and ISO certifications. How AWS Artifact meets the requirement. The PCI-DSS compliance documentation can be downloaded directly from the Artifact console. Artifact helps customers demonstrate compliance to auditors by providing official certifications and attestations. Why other options are incorrect? B. AWS Organizations used for managing accounts, not compliance reports. C. AWS Trusted Advisor offers best practice checks but does not provide compliance documentation. D. AWS Support Center provides customer support and ticket management but not compliance documentation. A company is releasing a business-critical application. Before the release, the company needs strategic planning assistance from AWS. During the release, the company needs AWS infrastructure event management and real-time support. What should the company do to meet these requirements? A. Access AWS Trusted Advisor. B. Contact the AWS Partner Network, APN. C. Sign up for AWS Enterprise Support. D. Contact AWS Professional Services. The answer is C. AWS Enterprise Support provides strategic planning assistance, infrastructure event management, and real-time support, which are necessary for business-critical applications. Trusted Advisor and APN do not offer direct strategic support, and while AWS Professional Services can assist with complex solutions, enterprise support specifically includes ongoing operational support and event management. A company is connecting multiple VPCs and on-premises networks. The company needs to use an AWS service as a cloud router to simplify peering relationships. Which AWS service can the company use to meet this requirement? A. AWS Direct Connect. B. AWS Transit Gateway. C. Amazon Connect. D. Amazon Route 53. The answer is B. AWS Transit Gateway acts as a cloud router for connecting multiple VPCs and on-premises networks, simplifying network management by creating a hub-and-spoke model for routing traffic. Direct Connect provides a private connection to AWS but does not function as a central router. Amazon Connect is unrelated, and Route 53 is for DNS services, not VPC connectivity. Which design principle is related to the reliability pillar according to the AWS well-architected framework? A. Test recovery procedures. B. Experiment more often. C. Go global in minutes. D. Analyze and attribute to expenditure. The answer is A. The reliability pillar of the AWS well-architected framework includes the principle of testing recovery procedures to ensure systems can effectively recover from failures. Regular testing of recovery processes helps verify that systems are resilient and can handle potential disruptions. The other options align with different pillars like cost optimization and operational excellence. A company has a client that uses an Amazon RDS database. The client requests information about operating system level upgrades on the AWS resources that host the RDS database. The company employs a third-party provider to monitor the RDS database. Who is responsible for upgrading the operating systems for Amazon RDS under the AWS shared responsibility model? A. The client. B. The company. C. AWS. D. The third-party provider. The answer is C. Under the AWS shared responsibility model, AWS is responsible for managing the underlying infrastructure, including operating system level updates on managed services like Amazon RDS. Customers are responsible for managing the database instance and configurations, but AWS handles OS updates for the infrastructure supporting RDS.